Tracy with the blue futon, and Scoob's just been released on digital. It was actually supposed to be in movie theaters today, May 15th, because of the coronavirus. It is now on digital only, and this is actually a movie I really wanted to see in theaters as a kid growing up. Huge Scooby-Doo fan, hence I have the Blu-ray collector's edition. But you know what? Let's see how this remake cartoon turned out to be. So what is Scoob about? This is an origin story how the Mystery Inc. machine actually got together. Shaggy, Scooby, Fred, Velma, Daphne, and how they're little kids. They didn't really know each other until a first murder mystery during Halloween happened. And now, years later, they're now teenagers, I would say more young adults, and they are still solving these crimes in Venice, California. But then, Scooby and Shaggy get beamed up by Blue Falcon, and in this time, it's actually not a murder mystery. It's a mystery to actually save the world. Now let's look at this all-star cast, guys. We have Will Forte, Mark Wahlberg, Jason Isaac, Gina Rodriguez, Zac Efron, Amanda Seyfried, Kiersey Clemons, Ken Jeong, Tracy Morgan, Simon Cowell, and Frank Welker, who is the original Scooby-Doo voice acting from the cartoons. I might be biased with this movie, but I enjoyed the living poop out of this movie. I loved the cartoon growing up, and this pays great homage to the cartoon while adding new stuff in between. First off, when I say it pays homage, the intro, the Scooby-Dooby-Doo, oh, where are you? We got some work to do now. Well, this one does the exact same intro from the cartoon, and they make it more computer animated to today's day and age of what this actual cartoon looks like. And it's a great looking intro, guys. Fantastic. I smiled through the whole time because I felt it. Did I have tears in my eyes during watching this? Heck yes. When Scooby and Shaggy met for the first time, put the collar on? Heck yes. And the last end, I was like, I'm not crying. You're crying. But this movie is a fun time. Kids will enjoy it. Adults will enjoy it. There are a lot of adult jokes about the bad guy's name. And like an F-bomb joke here and there. Daphne's dad joke. We have a Chris Hemsworth joke of how the bad guy goes to Fred's like, you're just like one of the Hemsworth brothers. He's like, wait a minute, am I Liam or Chris? That shit's pretty funny. But even though I find that funny, I think a lot of people might not like that type of humor in this because there's a lot of pop culture reference in today's day and age that they try to that they use in this movie. I understand there's a lot of pop culture reference in this one, 100%. So I understand why people might not like it because it is a little bit heavy-handed on that point. But I thought all that worked really well in this movie, especially Mark Wahlberg. Sometimes you know it's Mark Wahlberg speaking, and all of a sudden you're like, wait, is that really Mark Wahlberg? I'm kind of confused. But overall, this is the kids' movie for adults as well. I had a blast with it. Even though the story might be a little weird because you're used to Scooby-Doo and the Mystery Machine. Well, I don't want to say Mystery Machine. Mystery Inc. Maybe because that's what the van is called, right? Let's look. Oh, I thought the van was here as part of it. I thought the van was... Oh, well, anyway, 50 years? Geez, Scooby-Doo has been around for 50 years? Holy cow. So that's absolutely phenomenal. But anyway, yeah, I understand how some people might not like the story because the cartoons are kind of based off, like, you know, oh, there's a guy who has a mask on, and he is terrorizing this town. But this is not really like that. This is a save the world type of story. So it's not your original Scooby-Doo type of story. So some people might be turned off by that, and I can understand it. But it would be hard to do that for a full-length movie that they expect to be in theaters, not digital. Like I said, this movie was supposed to be released today in theaters. Unfortunately, it couldn't, and now it's on Vudu, Amazon, I think, and other sites like that. But overall, Scoobs, I had a blast with it. I enjoyed the living poop out of it. Like I said, I enjoyed the humor. I enjoyed the voice acting. I enjoyed the animation. They did a great job homaging to it. I do not... And there's a funny scene where something happens to Fred, like, at the very end, and what he does to, like, get back at something. I laughed so hard in that movie. There are some jokes in there that are, like, a toxic masculinity joke. I had an eye roll. And a very funny joke in the very beginning about Harry Potter, Supreme Court Justice, and I'll just put it there. I kind of laughed at that really hard. Overall, I enjoyed it. I don't know what else to say. Maybe I might be biased, but I just had a blast with this movie, guys. So Scoob will receive a 4.5 out of 5 with Futons. He was at 90%. So see the critics' news scores gave this one. So yeah, the critics, Party Poopers at 52% with 61 of them, and audience score a 76 with 123. And here's critic consensus. Scoob is fun enough for youthful viewers and some hardcore fans, but never quite solves the mystery of why audience shouldn't watch old episodes instead. I mean, yeah, you can watch old episodes, but I know there's a joke in here as well as some people talking about the old cartoon. It's like the same thing repeat over and over again. And they, like I said, there's a good scene in this movie about Daphne, like, oh, she's like moving a chair around, and they're like, what are you doing? And she's like, well, whenever Scooby and Shaggy do this, they randomly find a door. I'm going to see if that works for me. So, like I said, there's a good enough homage to this movie to pay to the older audiences that have watched the cartoons. And I enjoyed it. And there's a new, fresh stuff for the older or for the newer generation. That's all I could say. I enjoyed the living poop out of this one. So, do you agree with the 90%, the 76, or the 52? Whoa. Cheese like the Blue Futon, like, comment, subscribe. Well, no things Bhutontopia, you Bhuftonians. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Peace and love, peace and love. And I know you could buy it for $24.99, which I did on the Ultra HD. Sorry, guys. Discs still look 100 times better than the digital world. I'm sorry. Am I going to buy this on 4K? I will. Just because, like I said, Vudu streaming ultra high def is not the same as a 4K disc. I'm sorry.